Nin Zhao sent me a hypnotic photo. I pretended to fall into a trap so she could show her true face. Unexpectedly, she rushed over and stripped me of my clothes. "That kid, show me your bra." Looking at the girl in front of me acting like a hypnotist, I tried to suppress my laughter, pretending to be hypnotized so she would believe me, then suddenly woke up and laughed at her. I relaxed my shoulders and let my eyes become dreamy. Seeing this, Nin Zhao immediately laughed and was delighted. Hypnosis was successful. Inwardly I smirked, she was so easy to fool. Raising his right hand, Nin Zhao gave an order. I pretended to cooperate, raising my right hand. She became extremely agitated, her voice trembling. "I saw online that when you're hypnotized, you won't remember anything." Looking at Nin Zhao's excited expression, I chuckled inside. "Quick, say your cold words." "Say it, I'll make fun of you." But what I imagined didn't happen. Nin Zhao was like a little cat, acting spoiled, and suddenly rushed forward. My whole body suddenly became sensitive. I even felt that Nin Zhao was not wearing a bra. She wrapped her arms around my neck. Before I could react, I felt softness on my lips. Nin Zhao's kiss was very gentle, mixed with a bit of exploration. Finally kissed. "Love you the most." "Ah, fuck, you guys are so happy. The machines are giving me too much dog food. Let me open my eyes and see if you will be happy until the end." Before continuing to watch the video, please click like and comment to support the channel. If you find it interesting, you can donate to me to help me create more interesting content. Thank you everyone so much. I tried to suppress my surprise. If I woke up now and laughed at her as planned, I would definitely be beaten to death. I continued to pretend to be hypnotized. As for Nin Zhao, he was like a chicken pecking rice, constantly kissing my face. 10 minutes later, she panted and got off my lap, not forgetting to use a tissue to wipe the drool from my face. That's all for today. If it continues, it will be very strange. Later, I have to eat with my mother-in-law. I was stunned. Mother-in-law? In Nin Zhao's mouth, it was clearly my mother. She really doesn't consider herself an outsider. She took out her phone again and took a black and white photo at my eyes. "Now you will wake up from your trance and forget everything that just happened." Nin Zhao snapped his fingers. I cooperated, shaking my shoulders. His eyes turned from dreamy to focused. "Baqian, damn, you fell asleep doing your homework, you're so useless." Nin Zhao stammered and scolded, "Why are the corners of my mouth so wet?" I deliberately touched my mouth. Nin Zhao was startled and pulled my hand back to prevent me from touching his face. Flushing, guilty look on your face. "You're definitely drooling in your sleep." I silently pinched my thighs to keep from laughing. "You disgusting thing." This time, I came up with the idea of revenge. I decided to play dumb for a while. Moreover, with that soft feeling, I also want to see what else Nin Zhao is up to. So I overslept. No wonder I don't remember anything. I shook my head, pretending to be sleepy. Hearing me say that, Nin Zhao clearly breathed a sigh of relief. I felt a bit confused, her reaction was so different. Obviously very adorable. "Why do you like to make me angry?" I continued to do my homework, but Nin Zhao seemed like he didn't want to go home, lying on the bed. I watched the video until my mother finished making dinner. After eating, she went home. The next morning, I was woken up by a loud noise. I felt something pressing on my stomach. Opening my eyes, a foot was placed on me. Nin Zhao was kicking me with his foot with a disgusted look on his face. I looked at the clock and immediately grimaced. first class starts at 7:30 for 16 seconds. I'm really at a loss for you, Min Zhao sighed, took out her phone, opened the black and white swirl and started her self-hypnosis. Even though I was still sleepy, I immediately pretended to be drowsy. I want to see what she's up to this early in the morning. Seeing my expression, Min Zhao immediately changed from disgust to smile. The way he called me also changed from damn Bakian to good brother. Haven't slept next to my brother in a long time. Listening to her speak, my heart pounded. Before I could react, I suddenly felt light. The blanket was flipped over. Min Zhao crawled into my blanket. My heart was beating wildly. Did she wake me up early just to get under my blanket? The star woke me up early in the morning, and I was very irritable. Now that she did that, the anger became even more intense. Older brother. In my ear, Min Zhao's breathing became rapid, his voice sweet. I'm embarrassed to break it a bit. 30 minutes later, Min Zhao's voice was a bit scared. If you keep this up, you'll probably get tendinitis. She gritted her teeth. 10 minutes later, she took out her phone, released the hypnosis, and elegantly snapped her fingers. Wake up, you're still sleeping at this hour. Min Zhao's face was still red, but his expression had changed to one of disgust. I pretended to just wake up and got out of bed. You disgusting thing. She acted like nothing happened. After I finished cleaning myself, Min Zhao sat at my dining table. Tu Bak, you have to teach early. My mother taught me, but her eyes smiled and looked at Min Zhao. Already bothering Tu Zhao, I'm so embarrassed. It's okay, Min Zhao acted obedient and adorable in front of my mother. I was so angry that I gritted my teeth. Calling me to teach every day, are you actually trying to find an excuse to harass me every morning? I deliberately said sarcastically, thank you, hi. Min Zhao's face turned red. Seeing the small, usually chatty mouth, it suddenly became stuttering. She could only reply with a cold voice. After breakfast, Min Zhao and I went to class together. The familiar booing sounded again. Even though I explained to you that Min Zhao and I were just childhood neighbors, you still enjoyed teasing me about this. Min Zhao pretended not to see and went straight to his seat. A guy who was close to me gently nudged me and laughed loudly. Normally, I'm cold in front of others. Maybe only in front of you do I act coyly. As soon as he finished speaking, he cried out in pain. The school bag, full of books, fell on his head. The main culprit is Min Zhao. This girl really gets angry easily. 2 classes passed. During recess, I was about to go out to buy snacks when Min Zhao pulled me back. Back door of the classroom, don't ask anything, follow me. This girl is always so stubborn. Mingu pulled me to the rooftop of the teaching building. The terrace door is usually locked, but today it was wide open. What's wrong with you? I was pushed to the rooftop and asked angrily right after. Min screamed and raised his phone to shine a wolf image in my eyes. Now your consciousness will fall asleep. I was a bit stunned, but still managed to keep my eyes blank, pretending to have lost all my strength. This is at school. Min shouted, this girl is really too nationalistic. School rooftop, hypnosis, these keywords combined, brother story. I'm sorry this morning. Min Dao stood on tiptoe and wrapped his arms around my neck, kissing her. One leg behind the head, stick out your tongue. I don't dare to confess my feelings, so I always let you be misunderstood by others. Min Dao spoke while patting his chest, breathing rapidly. That's it for today. I'll go to the bathroom for a while. A minute after you leave, I'll wake up. Having finished speaking, Min Dao left the terrace. As soon as she left, I breathed a sigh of relief. Pretending to be hypnotized by Nin Dao is really annoying. But if it stays like that every time, it's not bad. Just follow her wishes for now, as long as no one else finds out. I was just about to leave the terrace when from a corner, a teacher wearing a uniform walked out. Bak Tian, what did you just do with Nin Dao? That's Jiang Mai, our literature teacher. During recess, she went to the rooftop to get some fresh air. Before she could leave, she caught us sneaking onto the rooftop. This behavior is strictly prohibited by the school. If she was discovered by students, as a teacher, she would lose face. To save face, she hid in a corner of the terrace. At the same time, she was also curious about what we were doing. Thinking so, she secretly took a peek. The sight before her eyes made her blush. Nin Dao was like a hypnotist, showing me a drawing of some kind. I silently cried that it was not okay. If caught by the homeroom teacher, parents will definitely be called. I decided to play dumb. What's going on? I'm the only one on the rooftop. I don't see Nin Dao anywhere. Seeing that I refused to admit it, Jiang Mai was about to scold me, but she remembered what Nin Dao said to me. Are you really hypnotized? Jiang Mai thought to herself. Feeling that the situation is more serious, it's so pitiful to find out so many things, but act like you don't know anything. Bak Tian, please go back to class. Break time hasn't come yet. I'll see you in the office. I sighed in my heart, it seemed I couldn't avoid being scolded. The whole morning passed like that in a dream. At lunch break, I gritted my teeth and went to Jiang Mai's office. Seeing me coming, Jiang Mai put down her exercise book. Before she could react, she went around behind me and locked the office door. I silently groaned, it seemed like this was really serious. After locking the door, Jiang Mai told me to sit down. Miss Jiang, I was wrong. I decided to proactively admit my mistake to gain leniency. Are you talking nonsense on the rooftop? Jiang Mai did not have an angry look on her face. I even saw a bit of pity in her eyes. Sneaking up to the rooftop is really wrong, but I know this is not your fault. During class, I did a little research. Jiang Mai leaned forward and told me in a serious voice. I know you might not believe it, but you are actually hypnotized by Nin Dao. Are not? I never heard Jiang Mai say anything. I broke out in a cold sweat. I absolutely cannot admit this. If Nin Dao knew I was pretending to be hypnotized, she would definitely beat me to death. Sure enough, I don't believe it. Ms. Jiang Mai sighed and took out her phone, shining a black and white swirl image into my eyes. Bak Tian, look at this picture. Now you will enter a hypnotic state. This line is so familiar, Miss Jiang, why do you also play this game? So, I hastily pretended to lose consciousness, pretending to be hypnotized. The fact that Jiang Mai hypnotized me was completely unexpected. If I let her know I'm just pretending, it will be very troublesome. I could only pretend to be hypnotized again, researched all morning, and finally succeeded. Jiang Mai looked at me blankly and smiled complacently. I don't know where she learned about hypnosis, probably not from a systematic source. But to avoid being exposed, I had to hold back and continue to pretend to be dreamy. Bak Tian, I did this because I wanted to be good for you, so I hypnotized you. I will remember the words you say next in my subconscious. Even if I remove the hypnosis, I will still do it. Her strong coldness in everyday life. If she used hypnosis to make me unable to resist, then this was a higher level of hypnosis. Through hypnosis, I can change my perception of the hypnotist, thereby affecting my daily life. I broke out in a cold sweat. If Mana's coldness was too much, I would be in danger. First, you will feel that studying is a fun thing. Later on, you will study harder. Second, you will be wary of Nin Dao and refuse to be alone with her. Jiang Mai's cold strength has no bad intentions. It's even like a mother's advice. After listening, my nose felt stinging. At first I thought I would be scolded by the teacher, but I never expected to receive her attention. In order not to disappoint her, I will try harder, I silently told myself. If Ba Qian has memorized her cold man, then stand up, turn around and sit down. I was in a hypnotic state following Jiang Mai's request. Seeing that, Jiang Mai clearly showed satisfaction. Okay, this is enough to hypnotize. I breathed a sigh of relief. Next I just needed to wait for her to release the hypnosis. I pretended like I didn't know anything. But Jiang Mai did not release the hypnosis. Don't remember anything. Jiang Mai muttered, sorry Ba Qian, I want you to help me satisfy some of my own desires. What? Listening to Jiang Mai, my head was pounding. What does she want to do? Ba Qian, please take off your shirt. I suspected there was something wrong with my ears, but Jiang Mai's longing expression showed she wasn't joking. Jiang Mai gasped, hot breath blowing on my face. His expression couldn't be more patient. My hand was held by her soft hand. I pretended to be hypnotized. On the outside I was dreamy, but on the inside I was agitated. The scene before my eyes made me unable to believe it. Jiang Mai held my hand and put my finger in her mouth. Oh, what a shame. I am truly a spoiled person. Luckily, Ba Qian was already hypnotized. If not, I will die. I realized that things had come to this point. I definitely couldn't let Jiang Mai find out that I was pretending. 10 minutes later, Jiang Mai gradually regained consciousness, feeling embarrassed like a tsunami. I'm sorry, it won't be like that next time. Jiang Mai blushed, apologized to me and took. The wet tissue wiped my fingers clean. I took a few deep breaths. She just took out her phone, opened the mango image and shone it in my eyes. Ba Qian, you will remember the cold orders I recorded in your subconscious, but will forget everything that happened while under hypnosis. Now I can wake up. Jiang Mai flared her hand and received the signal. I immediately woke up. She asked, why are you here? I pretended to be bewildered. Hearing me say that, Jiang Mai breathed a sigh of relief, revealing a lucky expression. It turns out that hypnosis is effective. Ba Qian had absolutely no idea what had happened. Jiang Mai muttered, but my ears are very good. I heard everything she said. I even sensed a bit of joy in her voice. She called me to the office because she wanted to find out about my study situation. Jiang Mai returned to her usual appearance, completely different from her seductive look just now. Your academic situation is fine, I've seen your transcript. It seems that literature is a bit weak. Maybe you should be my literature class monitor. Communicating with me more will also help improve your scores, Jiang Mai said while patting my head. If it weren't for what just happened, I would definitely agree immediately. But now, hearing Jiang Mai tell me to interact more with her, my face immediately turned red. Ba Qian, you're still shy, Jiang Mai giggled. Do you agree? I'm doing this because I want the best for you. I'm not sure for whose good I want it, but if I refuse, it will most likely reveal that I'm pretending to be hypnotized. After all, she is a grown woman and cannot act like Nin Jiao. After some consideration, I agreed to her request. All afternoon, I was no longer in the mood to listen to the lecture. My mind is full of that seductive image. Soon it was time to end school. As a childhood neighbor, Nin Jiao will of course come home with me. Ba Qian, do you find Ms. Zhang a bit strange today? While waiting for the bus, Nin Jiao asked me. Startled, I hastily pretended to know nothing. What's strange? Isn't it the same as always? I noticed that this morning Miss Zhang was wearing black socks, but in the afternoon her legs were bare. Probably because it was too hot. Nin Zhao nodded, seemingly agreeing with what I said. She pulled her collar, pretending to pass me. Nearly half a head taller than Nin Zhao. When she pulled her collar, I saw the beauty of spring in my heart. Don't do that. Out on the street. Do you know it's dangerous from my perspective? Nin Zhao immediately frowned and looked at me with disdain. Right after that, I saw a slight scratch on my arm, like Nin Zhao's cat claws. It's not very painful, it's even more like coddling. Ba Qian, I saw it. A petite girl squeezed out from the crowd. She wore the same uniform as Nin Zhao, her small face was staring at me angrily. You're Tu Jiao's childhood friend, so you can annoy her. The girl with two pigtails hugged Nin Jiao's arm, intending to pull her away from me. Lu Tu, have you been too much with me? This name sounds gentle and elegant, but actually this girl is an active girl. She is also Nin Jiao's close friend. Every morning she appeared in front of me, pointed at my nose and said, "Don't be so sentimental. I thought Tu Jiao liked you." Although the truth proves that Luda completely does not understand anything about her best friend, looking at this girl with two pigtails still makes me uncomfortable. So what? I'm telling the truth. Tu Jiao is around people like you all day, and his value also decreases. Nin Zhao looked at me with disdain, but secretly looked at me with guilty eyes. Lu Tu is right. Even though that glance was very discreet, I still caught it. I also quarreled with Lu Tu. Her recent actions have attracted the attention of many people. Arguing in a public place, like a bus stop, is clearly unwise. 3 minutes later, the bus slowly entered the station. After work is rush hour, everyone rushes into the car. Luckily, I was quick and pulled Nin Zhao into the car. Don't talk about seats in the car, now there isn't even a place to stand. I grabbed the handrail, turned my back to the crowd, shielding Nin Zhao. The current posture is a bit hollow and closed. Nin Zhao suddenly blushed. Ba Qian, damn, he looks a bit handsome now. See, I want to hypnotize you so much. Nin Zhao unconsciously put his hand to his mouth, but at that moment, an argument rang out in the crowd, "Get away from me, you perverted man." It's Lu Tu's voice. The bus was very crowded, but everyone huddled to avoid collision. Lu Tu's scream immediately attracted attention. If you don't want to be crowded, drive yourself. Everyone is jostling. What are you pretending to be noble about? Lu Tu was condemned by everyone, her small face turned pale. This was different from what she saw online. Shouldn't people make room for her? Seeing Lu Tu confused, I secretly smiled. But Nin Zhao pulled my shirt. Ba Qian, help Tu a little. Nin Zhao cannot stand her best friend being bullied, even if she did it herself. Can I buy SK Kin Sun Wukong the Dark God for you? I sighed and had to go against my conscience to help. I reached out and pushed through the crowd, grabbed Luda like a baby, and pulled her towards me. Luda breathed a sigh of relief, but with her appearance, the small space in front of me became cramped. It is difficult for the body to avoid collision. You are not allowed to take advantage of Tu Jiao. Luda did not thank me, but was wary of watching me block in front of Nin Zhao, turning his back to me. At this moment, the bus suddenly braked. I lost my balance and fell forward. Get away from me. Feeling the back from behind, Lu Tu immediately scolded, or you should get out of the car already. I refused to follow, she tried to chase me down. Tu, Ba Qian didn't mean it, Nin Zhao quickly reconciled. Luda listened very well to Nin Jiao and immediately fell silent. The bus had just reached the bumpy road and was bumped up and down. I wasn't paying attention. I was pushed by someone behind me, lost my balance, and fell forward. Luda shouted. She knew what had just hit her. Arrest this guy. Luda blushed and blushed. But after the recent drama, no one believes this cheeky young lady anymore. There was even an aunt who stood up and criticized Luda for being incorrect. Having lost her momentum, Luda had to swallow the vulgar words, but she did not forgive me that easily. In a place where Nin Jiao could not see, Luda raised his foot and stomped hard backwards. Luda was petite, her eyes balanced just as the car made a sharp turn. Before stepping on me. Then she fell forward. I quickly caught her waist. Luda was stunned, then realized what had just happened. Anger flared up in her heart. Nin Jiao, Baqian just scared me. Luda also knows that no one in the car will believe her no matter what she says now. Nin Jiao seemed hesitant, but the aunt from before spoke again. I saw it all. Isn't it because you wanted to step on someone that you lost your balance? The aunt defends what is right. Luda looked at Nin Jiao with innocent eyes. That's enough. Even if you hate Baqian, there's no need to slander him. Even Nin Jiao, her close friend, also began to have doubts. Luda is like the sky is falling. Excuse me, she raised her head to see my mouth. Even though I didn't make a sound, Luda still understood what I said. Small and cute. Luda was so angry that her lungs exploded. She glared at me and ran away. When I got home, Nin Jiao said he would supervise me in doing my homework. As soon as she entered my room, she threw down her torn bag and lay down on the bed. Damn Baqian, my homework is almost done. Nin Jiao laughed at me and took out his phone. Look, the black and white swirl appeared again. I was stunned, hastily pretending to be dreamy. What is this girl planning to do? I coordinated the performance and was curious about what new tricks Nin Jiao would show. Brother, after being hypnotized, Nin Jiao's way of addressing me immediately changed. Even though I've heard it many times, I still can't believe such words came out of that small mouth. On the bus, your hands touched them, right? Nin Jiao looks unhappy. It's true that you to refuse to exchange tricks with me on the bus. Nin Jiao grumbled while showing an expectant expression. This expression was exactly like the one on the rooftop. I was startled. Sorry, just thinking of something. Nin Jiao smiled cunningly, revealing a cunning expression. Half an hour later, before my surprised eyes, Nin Jiao raised his head, adjusted my clothes for me, then took out his phone to release the hypnosis. I shook my shoulders, pretending to just wake up. In the small bedroom, the temperature seems a bit high. Nin Jiao and I looked at each other. I have to say something. If I keep quiet like this, Nin Jiao will notice something unusual. I looked around, looking for something to talk about. Then I saw the clothes Nin Jiao threw on the bed. I intended to nag like always, but the familiar damn Baqian didn't appear. Nin Jiao's face showed a smile that I was not used to. My heart was pounding. A few days later, Nin Jiao changed clearly. Every day she came to my room early, half an hour after hypnotizing me, then crawled under the covers. On the way home, Nin Jiao even ignored his best friend, making Luda even more resentful. I soon reached the final exam before the university entrance exam. Thanks to Nin Jiao, I did quite well on the test. On the podium, Jiang Mai encouraged everyone, especially me, to have made great progress. When his eyes looked towards me, my heart pounded. My mind is filled with images of that afternoon. After announcing the vacation schedule, Jiang Mai looked at me. Baqian, please collect the test and bring it to the office for me. The others can finish school. I told Nin Zhao and told her and Lu to go home first. I packed up the test and went to the office. In the office there is still only Jiang Mai. Miss Jiang, I've finished collecting the cards. Ba Qian, don't rush to leave. I want to talk to you a bit. There was a gentle smile on her face, but I felt something was wrong. Lately, Ba Qian has improved a lot, she replied to me with compliments and encouragement. Thanks to Ms. Jiang, I sincerely thank her for her help all the time. Idiot, haven't you realized that I used hypnosis to make you love studying? Jiang Mai missed her words. A look of panic immediately appeared on his face. She quickly spoke up to hide. I mean, Ba Qian loves studying. Seeing that she didn't want to be exposed, I also cooperated, pretending to be stupid. Explain this exam question to me. Jiang Mai felt guilty, tried to change the subject, and quickly took out my test to explain. It was normal at first, but why do I feel like she's sitting closer and closer to me? Sorry, Ba Qian. I look at this. Finally, Jiang Mai also took out her phone. For the last time, just the last time, I won't hypnotize you anymore. She held up the wolf image on her phone screen. Jiang Mai talked so much that I was completely caught off guard. I relaxed my shoulders and pretended to be daydreaming. It's finally here. Jiang Mai put something in my hand and lifted my long hair. Ba Qian, help me put this on. I looked down at my palm, it was a very ordinary necklace. I'm only 18 years old, I'm still inexperienced, is it too early? I tried to suppress my excitement, swallowing saliva along with the sound of the lock ringing. Jiang Mai breathed a sigh of relief. Perhaps because of hypnosis, I had the opportunity to hear her confession. She has never been in love with anyone. In high school, her parents told her to study hard and go to college. They also told her to study hard. She even became a teacher, turning studying hard into her job. She also wants to experience the feeling of love. I was startled, not expecting to hear her confession. Jiang Mai pursed her lips. Now, Ba Qian, in front of you is a lovely puppy. I didn't expect Jiang Mai to boldly kiss me. Thinking that the hypnosis had now been removed, Jiang Mai snapped her fingers so as not to reveal her pretense of being hypnotized. I could only slowly wake up, and even had to pretend that my personality had been successfully changed. I can't even see her in front of me. It hurts, I pretended to ask. Sure enough, hearing me say that, Jiang Mai looked excited. Why are you so torn? I guess I'll just have to punish you a little. When reason returned, a feeling of guilt rose in Jiang Mai's heart. She started to regret it. Then let's correct Ba Qian's perception now. Jiang Mai took the phone that was thrown aside, and the wolf image appeared again in front of my eyes. Okay, now Ba Qian can wake up. Everything that happened during the hypnosis, Ba Qian will not remember anything. Having said that, I will never forget this scene for the rest of my life. But I still pretended like I just woke up. Why is your uniform torn like this? Maybe a knife cut the paper on the door just now. Jiang Mai panicked for a second and quickly changed the story. Ba Qian, please take me to the parking lot. I'll drive you home. Jiang Mai smiled gently at me. Saying there is no vibration is false. I helped Jiang Mai out of the teaching building. Because tomorrow was a day off, there was no one else in the school, so I wasn't afraid of being seen by others. When I got home, my mother had finished preparing dinner. Nin Zhao, who always appears on time every evening, also sat at the dining table. Nin Dao had definitely begun to eat voraciously. But recently, this difficult girl suddenly became gentle and faced the sumptuous dinner table without even moving her chopsticks. Seeing me return, Nindao's eyes lit up. "Why are you so torn?" While she was grating papers, she was accidentally cut by a knife along the paper. I blushed and made up a story. "Help Jiang Mai, Miss Jiang also took me home, you two are so kind." My mother smiled gently. "Tu Bok has improved so much this time, it's definitely thanks to the teacher. Ning Dao also helped him a lot." I suddenly wanted to tease Nin Dao, intentionally saying that. "Anyway, this girl still thinks hypnosis is real." As soon as I finished speaking, Nin Dao immediately thought about what happened this morning. "Hey, Tu Jiao looks like a woman now." Nin Dao's shy face made my mother couldn't help but laugh. As a result, Nin Dao's face turned red. Nin Dao covered his face with a bowl. "It's all because of the damn Bakian who made me hungry for so long." She seemed to return to the hot-tempered girl she once was, scolding me while eating. If it were before, I would definitely be angry too. But because I pretended to be hypnotized, I knew Nin Dao's true face and just found it funny. After this practice test, we had 2 days off. "Children, go outside and play," my mother said. "I'm not going anywhere. I want to play the game Black Myth Wukong. I've spent the entire vacation, I was determined to clear this game. I made an appointment with Tuda to go to the comic book fair." Nin Dao also told his plan. "I don't think it's strange, because Luda seems to be an anime fan, so it's very normal for close friends to go to comic book fairs. Tu Bok, stop playing games at home, go to the comic book fair with Tu Jiao." Hearing her mother say that, Nin Dao also stopped chopsticks and looked at me expectantly. "I also want to go see the beautiful girls at the comic book fair, but if I go with Nin Dao, I will definitely be abused by Lu Tu in all kinds of ways along the way." I was just about to refuse when Tu ordered a very expensive cosplay online. "I'll wear with you too," she said. This makes it impossible for me to refuse. I really want to see Nin Dao wearing a cosplay. If she wears it alone it will be very dangerous. My mother forced me to go with her. This time I agreed immediately. Damn Bakian. As soon as I heard I was wearing a cosplay, I immediately agreed. After eating, Nin Dao took over my room again. She spoke in a disdainful tone, but everyone could hear the satisfaction in her voice. Before I could clearly hear what Nin Dao said, I saw a familiar swirling shape appear before my eyes. Damn Bakian, your consciousness will immediately fall asleep. Here we go again. I pretended to be lifeless immediately. Nin Dao jumped into my arms. Anyway, I agreed to go to the comic book fair with you. I'm so happy, I have to reward you a little. Nin Dao kissed my face like a chicken pecking rice. Before, she only dared to lightly kiss the corner of her mouth, but this time she was so bold. At this moment, the phone rang. It's Lu Tu's video call. Ning Dao stopped. I thought she would stop there, but I didn't expect her to answer the phone with her left hand. I opened my eyes wide. Did Nin Dao want me to guess correctly? Even though I was hypnotized, I was still startled. Ning Dao, how dare she do that? Tu Jiao, why is your face red? So is it possible that Lu Tu's screen only saw the upper part of Nin Dao's neck? Is this really the first time Lu Tu saw her shy expression like that? Maybe a little hot. Nin Dao blinked, not daring to look straight at the camera. Lu Tu had no doubts. Little knife, what are you doing? Nin Dao smiled. I just got out of the shower and am applying lotion to my hands, but it's not doing very well. Then return it, don't waste your money on this poor quality product. I just wanted to tear apart Lu Tu's mouth that was pretending to be hypnotized. I heard the entire conversation of the two girls. Lu Tu and Nin Dao talked for a while longer before hanging up. 10 minutes later, Nin Dao finished washing his face and came back to hypnotize me. At the same time, I was asked to forget everything that happened while under hypnosis. Even if Zhang family encounters unexpected situations, Nin Dao is still not used to maintaining the strictness of hypnosis. While under hypnosis, Nin Dao was very bold, but after being released, he became arrogant. "Ba Qian, go to bed quickly, don't get up late tomorrow." Nin Dao's news is pounding. After speaking, she immediately ran out of the room. The next morning, I was woken up very early by Nin Dao. "Hypnotized again? This girl is real, but none of the familiar hypnosis takes place." Instead, there was Nin Dao's violent action. I was dragged straight out of bed by her. That's when I remembered that I had arranged to go to the comic book fair with her today. "You're so handsome today. I meticulously chose my outfit for half an hour," Nin Dao said proudly, accidentally blurting out his thoughts. Nin Dao used his 8 fists to hit me into the bathroom. While I washed my face, she waited at the door like a little wife. My brother complimented me on my beauty. "It seems like the hypnosis I've been using these past few days has been effective. I'm sure it won't be long before I can confess my love." "What is it?" "It only takes me 5 minutes to clean up and quickly change clothes. Tuta has been waiting for a long time." Arriving at the bus stop at the gate of the apartment complex, Lu Tu was there. Next to her there was also a large suitcase. It seemed like inside the suitcase was a cosplay costume. "Ba Qian is also coming." Lu Tu's reaction was even more intense than I thought. As soon as she saw me, she immediately remembered what happened that day. Her heart beat wildly. She was scared and hated, hiding behind the glass. "Even though I know Lu Tu hates me a little, why do you need to react so violently? Ba Qian came to protect us at the comic book fair. Aren't there a lot of perverted photographers? With Ba Qian with us, we feel more secure." Nin Dao comforted Lu Tu. Lu Tu bit her lip. What Nin Dao said makes sense. Finally, she agreed. "The bus has arrived, let's get on it." The bus slowly entered the state. I was about to help Lu Tu carry her suitcase when she pushed my hand away. "No more taking the bus, let's take a taxi." She's already obsessed with buses. Lu Tu's destination is the conference center near the university area. People wearing all kinds of cosplay costumes made the usually deserted hall become bustling. "Miss, nurse loves pho." No wonder so many people like to take photos at comic book fairs. We went to change clothes. "Ba Qian, please wait outside." Lu Tu pulled Nin Dao into the dressing room. I waited outside for nearly an hour. The dressing room door finally opened. I looked at Nin Dao. Her original white hair was completely covered by the wig. Lu Tu dressed Nin Dao in a cold style, but in front of me, it was difficult for Nin Dao to be cold. Now she looks like she's trying to act cool on the outside, but when she comes home, in front of the person she likes, she becomes shy. This is a typical character setup in a detective story. I recognized it immediately. Nin Dao is irritable. Is any character beautiful? Nin Jiao's voice was a bit lacking in confidence. When Lu Tu did her makeup, she always closed her eyes so she didn't know what she looked like. "So beautiful," I replied without hesitation. Hearing my frank praise like that, Nin Jiao was stunned for a second. "Is this a confession?" Nin Jiao started daydreaming. The eyes looking at me also became gentle. "Let Nin take a photo for you." It's rare to see Nin Jiao smile. I took out my phone and opened the camera. Nin Jiao did not refuse, on the contrary, he actively posed. As soon as he appeared, Nin Jiao attracted the attention of many people. Many professional photographers raised their cameras to take pictures, but immediately countless jealous eyes focused on me. I still felt cold down my spine. Get away from my master. While I was showing the photo to Nin Jiao, an angry voice rang out from the dressing room. Because Nin Jiao laughed at his master, then Lu Tu was definitely laughing at his disciple. It must be said that Lu Tu's makeup skills are really very high. She looks like a fairy. Right after that, she ran over and kicked me. Come on, let's go to the prom. Apparently, Lu Tu went to the comic book fair with her as if she were coming home. Nin Jiao is not interested in these things, nor does he follow Lu Tu. The positions of the three people began to change. At first, Lu Tu led Nin Jiao's arm, but now Lu Tu ran in front, while Nin Jiao and I followed behind. How old are you to still play this game? Lu Tu bought a whole stall of keychains. This ostentatious action made me unable to help but blurt out, "You're in charge of the day off?" What does she do? Nin Jiao joked. My face turned red. This line feels right at home. Nin Jiao clenched his hands, his eyes slightly sad. She blamed herself for being both useless and cowardly, only using hypnosis to dare to reveal her true feelings in front of me. But Nin Jiao also clearly felt that, since the start of hypnosis, the relationship between her and I seemed to be much closer. I'm sorry, hypnosis isn't enough. The amount of vermicelli has not yet emitted mutagens. Nin Jiao tilted his head and secretly looked at me. This guy Bak Hien seems to really like me, isn't that funny? Or... Nin Jiao is staggering. What's wrong with you? I measured her shoulders. The first time wearing high heels, I'm a bit uncomfortable. I think I sprained it. Nin Jiao said as he rolled the wig with his fingers. This is her habit when lying. I looked down at Nin Jiao's feet. Because I was wearing black socks, I couldn't see them. Unless I swallowed, but I also knew that if I did, without being hypnotized, I would definitely be beaten. Tutu, I think I have a sprain. Let's go to the room to change for a moment. Lu Tu saw that her best friend did not look well, her eyes were full of worry. Can you go by yourself? It's okay, Bak Hien will help me go, Nin Jiao winked at me. I had no reason to refuse, although I was very worried about letting me take Nin Jiao on vacation, but in the end the appeal of the comic book fair still won. You can't do anything to Tu Jiao. Lu Tu waved her small fist to warn me. I helped Nin Jiao back to the dressing room earlier. Because it was rented by Lu Tu, it's okay even if I use it all day. As soon as he entered the room, Nin Jiao, who was limping, performed a play. My legs are not tired, nor do they hurt, just pretend. Sorry, this is the only way I can be alone with you guys. I understood immediately. What does she want to do to you? Looking at this image, the anger consciousness falls asleep. Now entering the hypnotic state, the familiar line resounds. I immediately know what she wants to do. Brother, answer my question. Do you like Chuan Lai? I don't like the gentle and thoughtful Chuan Lai, I said, setting up Chuan Li's character. What, it has nothing to do with you. Nin Jiao bowed his head. The Chuan Lai I'm talking about is completely different from Nin Jiao in real life. Nin Jiao is both arrogant and cold. What else do you like about Chuan Lai? She refused to let it go. Actually, the above reasons are all fabricated. The real reason is only one. I also like Chuan Li's figure, black stockings, long legs, big breasts. Nin Jiao looked contemptuously for a second, then consoled himself. At least I have black stockings and long legs. My answer made Nin Jiao feel dangerous. She didn't expect me to like an anime character. Nin Jiao has seen the news. Someone was so fascinated by Oa Fu that he married the emu of Oa Fu. Nin Jiao absolutely cannot accept such an outcome. Luckily, I learned hypnosis and was able to change my brother's perception. Nin Jiao's eyes lit up. Brother, look at me. I don't know what this girl is planning to do, but I still cooperate. Facing her. You can't like the character name, you can only like me. This order will be engraved in my mind, it cannot be erased. Unhypnotizing is so powerful, I know Nin Jiao likes me very much. But this girl is both arrogant and stubborn. He clearly liked me to death, but used a cold and disdainful expression to hide his feelings. If I accept Nin Jiao's orders now, I will become her toy. Even though I pretended to be hypnotized, I had no intention of letting her lead me by the nose. Therefore, I showed a torn expression, frowning as if I was having a fierce battle of thoughts in my head. Finally, I frowned tightly, pretending to wake up from my trance. Of course, Nin Jiao was so scared that his face turned pale and he quickly hugged my head. Don't think about this problem anymore. Relax your mind and go back to the hypnotic state. In this position, my nose touches Nin Jiao's chest. I felt a faint scent on her body. I just relaxed back into a dreamy state. Nin Jiao breathed a sigh of relief. It seems like we have to take it step by step. Nin Jiao changed strategy because he could not reach the sky in one step. Then at least through step-by-step hypnosis, you can slowly lead me to transfer my liking for you to her. Brother, you really like Chuan, right? Like me? She answered with simple words, deliberately speaking slowly as if she were truly hypnotized. So brother, look, which character am I now? Nin Jiao stood in front of me, posing in a classic game pose. This pose makes Nin Jiao's breasts stand out even more. My heart was pounding. The girl in front of her eyes seemed to have turned into a corrupt Qin Chao, a majestic and strategic female emperor like Chuan. Nin Jiao smiled brighter. Up to this point, everything was going exactly as she imagined. Next, just transfer my love for Chuan to her. My brother likes Chuan, and now I'm Chuan, so that means my brother likes me, right? Nin Jiao is looking forward to my answer, but I will not let her easily achieve her goal. That's not right, something is wrong. Nin Jiao was impatient. If I was truly infatuated with Annam, her happiness in the afterlife would not be guaranteed. Nin Jiao looks very similar to Chuan, but does not have her charisma. Chuan is so gentle, no matter what you do, she will agree. But Nin Jiao will only scold me for being a pervert. I said with a dreamy expression, but inside I was laughing hysterically for fear of being discovered pretending to be hypnotized. Nin Jiao always takes the initiative, but now I want to proactively attack. If we can use this method to make Nin Jiao become gentler, that would be great. I promise you, no matter what you do to me, I will accept it. So will you consider me Chuan? Hearing what Nin Jiao said, I was stunned. This girl's ability to understand is scary. I mean, Nin Jiao is not as gentle as Chuan, but she understands that she is not as gentle as Chuan in respecting me. Then just do the same to me as you did to Chuan. I will be as gentle as Chuan. Nin Jiao is determined to risk his life. Up until now, she has been hypnotizing me, the initiative is in her hands. But now she wants me to take the initiative to attack. After all, while being hypnotized, the feeling of shame made Nin Jiao's body tremble. After all, I've done everything, there's probably nothing more embarrassing than that. But she underestimated my imagination. Brother, why are you sitting on the ground? Before I could answer, Nin Jiao's feet wearing black stockings and high heels were held in my hand. She could already guess what would happen next. Half an hour later, Min Jiao asked, "Do you like me now?" Finally, Min Jiao heard the answer he wanted, but was immediately embarrassed. To fully immerse myself in the role, Min Jiao pampered me to the fullest. This resulted in her black socks getting dirty. You must know that this outfit was prepared by Lutu for her. How can I return the dirty clothes to Lutu? Min Jiao was having a headache when his phone vibrated. "Tu Dao, is your leg better?" "I'm better now." Min Jiao's voice was oppressive. She used a silly excuse to leave her best friend, while she was in the dressing room doing shady things with me. At this moment, she was very guilty. "That's great, come find me quickly. There's an activity that needs both of you to participate in." Min Jiao looked at his black socks in their current state. "Don't talk about looking for Lutu, even wearing shoes will get them dirty." "Sorry, my ankle still hurts a bit, I can't walk." "So the prize of the activity is a limited edition Fijia set." Lutu's voice on the other end of the phone was immediately bored. Min Jiao knew that Lutu was a crazy anime fan and her close friend, so he and Lutu participated in the activity. But the reality is that she not only cheated on Lutu but also soiled her clothes. Feelings of guilt surged. "Or let Bakian join you." The other end of the line was silent for a moment, seemingly thinking. "Okay, because of the limited edition Fijia set, I'll bear with you. Call Bakian here, hurry up." Having finished speaking, Lutu hung up the phone. "Sorry brother, please help Lutu." Min Jiao used hypnosis to give me orders. "Anyway, I know that the relationship between my brother and Lutu is not very good, but I still hope that he will help me to make up for it. I'll buy some socks to keep at home." At first I did not volunteer, but Min Jiao was so sincere, I had to reluctantly agree. So I, who was pretending to be hypnotized, nodded as if I accepted Min Jiao's order. When you are released from hypnosis, you will forget everything that happened while under hypnosis. 3 minutes later, I left the locker room and went to the convention center. There's clearly activity going on here. Most Kippos gather here. Hurry up, the petite Kippo wearing the spirit costume easily stands out in the crowd. As soon as I arrived, Lutu pulled me to the stage. "There are a lot of people, they stand in pairs, what kind of activity is this?" Lutu clearly considered me a tool. There's no way I could just roll with her for no reason. I think I have the right to know. "Don't ask anymore, I'll know later." Unexpectedly, from this petite girl's mouth came a shy and adorable voice. I bent down to see Lutu's white skin turning pink. What activity made her so embarrassed? I was very surprised. This is a comic book fair, a proper public place. While I was doubting, a presenter walked onto the stage. All the contestants have arrived. The comic book fair contest is now so competitive. What? Could it be that the motorbike and crocodile competition is more beautiful? I looked at the others on stage. If we only compare beauty and outfit quality, where does Lutu stand? If it was such a contest, why did Lutu drag me along? Our love affair has officially begun. The audience applauded. Gradually there was me, standing on the stage dumbfounded. You want me to pretend to be your lover? I lowered my voice and looked at Lutu with an expression of disbelief. It's just pretending. It's okay to win. Lutu clenched his fist. Initially, she planned to join Nin Jiao, but Nin Jiao was tired. She should have given up, but the prize of this activity is the limited edition version of Phi Ghi, which Lutu has wanted to buy for a long time but could not steal. Hopefully the contest content is not too excessive. First contest, prove that you two are the sweetest couple in the world. Couples that are not sweet enough will be eliminated, the host said excitedly. and I was completely dumbfounded. Luda plays so loudly, I don't know what to do. First, see how others do it. Not only me, Luda also felt extremely embarrassed when she heard the contest content. Having to prove to be a sweet couple to me, although very embarrassing, to win, Luda decided to risk her life. At first, she thought that just saying a few sweet words or being coy could prove their relationship. But after watching the other contestants' performances, Luda felt like the sky was falling. There was a couple with a princess, a guy hugged his girlfriend from behind, leaned down to nibble on her ear, and some even hugged each other and kissed passionately. Even now, are you jealous? According to the couple's performances, the intimate actions are increasingly escalating. Of course, there are no people like Luda who intend to pass anyone easily. At this point, the real and fake couples are immediately clearly distinguished. Quickly it was me and Lutu's turn. This couple is really a beautiful couple. Just looking at them you can tell they're a real couple. I wonder how you two will prove this sweet love. The host's eyes lit up. Luda silently scolded the host 10,000 times in her heart. He said it to this point, it's impossible to pass the test easily. She didn't want to be eliminated in the first round, so she remembered the feeling of being hugged by me on the bus, feeling tense, embarrassed and a little excited at the same time. She secretly looked around. The audience couldn't see, her best friend Nin Zhao was not here. Luda breathed a sigh of relief. Hug me. Lutu's voice was very small, but when it fell into my ears, it was like thunder. I couldn't believe such a sweet and soft voice came out of her mouth. Hey, is that Lutu? Has your personality collapsed? Why are you still standing there? Hurry up, otherwise it will be exposed. Seeing that I didn't move, Lutu impatiently urged me. Her face became even more embarrassed, her beautiful eyes sparkling with tears. This couple is a bit shy, isn't it? Could it be that they are a fake couple trying to cheat on the prize? The host was impatient. Isn't this really your boyfriend? Being told bad news by the host, Lutu no longer cared about embarrassment. Big teeth, small arms embracing me. Quick, hug me, Lutu urged in my ear. I reached under Lutu's armpit, placed my hand on her back, and pulled her closer to me. Lutu's scent crept into my nose. This girl is a bit flat, but not too flat. I felt Lutu's heartbeat like thunder. If it's just a hug, even if you're not a lover, you can do it. The host was still not satisfied. Looking at me and Lutu embracing, he actually believed we were lovers. Just seeing the young couple's awkward actions, the host realized something. Surely we just fell in love not long ago. He smiled cunningly. What he likes best is giving fate to others. Luda turned his back to the host, so he couldn't see the expression on his face. But I saw the host wink at me and say through his mouth, "Don't worry, I'll help you." I was confused by him. If not, the boy should put a mark on the girl's neck. Such a thing can prove your relationship. The host directly stated his request. I was startled. Dude, don't break me. I clearly felt that as soon as the host finished speaking, Lutu immediately trembled like a kettle of boiling water. I also felt like I was holding a bomb, which could explode at any moment. Don't be so quick to get angry. Otherwise, we'll give up, but absolutely don't get mad and hit anyone. I silently consoled myself. Stamping is essentially marking sovereignty on the other person, signifying that the other person is yours. For Lutu, this is absolutely unacceptable. This is just my speculation, but Lutu raised her head from my arms, her beautiful face revealing a shy look. If you give up now, you won't receive the limited edition Phi record set. Lutu's eyes flashed with hesitation. Don't give up. I suspect there's a problem with my ears. The host made such an unreasonable request, but Luda still did not intend to give up. What does that mean? My gaze moved from her face downwards. Baki-in, be gentle. Your skin is very thin, just a little suction will leave a mark. She pulled down her collar, revealing her perfect white neck to me. I told you to do it. Don't go online and expose me later. I swallowed my saliva. Being stamped on her neck and close to her famous twin tails made me extremely excited. But I haven't lost my mind yet. Islam wants to be a knife on my head. I don't want to kiss Luda today, and tomorrow I'll be exposed online as a jerk. Do you think I'm that easy? If you let me do that, I will definitely not take revenge on you. Just give her assurance, I can feel secure. Bend down and kiss Lutu's smooth skin. When my lips left, a red strawberry mark was left on her neck. Congratulations you two for making it through the first round, the host excitedly announced. Even winked at me. What's going on? I didn't expect that just because I helped Lu to participate in an activity, I would become her boyfriend. After the ordeal ended, I let go of Lutu. I thought she was going to secretly step on my foot, but right now she was like an innocent rabbit, obediently standing next to me, trying to cover the strawberry mark on her neck with her hair. Her guilty expression is so adorable. At the end of the round, the number of contestants is reduced by half. It seems that there are many people like Lutu, just looking for friends to pretend. Lutu excitedly waved his fist. The feeling of shame when being branded is also reduced. She thinks that the hardest part of love has passed. The host continued the second round of the competition. The boy carries the girl and runs around the fair. Lutu is petite, I carry her. It doesn't take any effort. This round, I easily took first place on the stage. All three couples received prizes, but only the first place winner got 5 Baki-in. I invite you to eat some, Dan. Maybe because I helped her get first place, she temporarily considered me a teammate. The host stirred up the atmosphere, making the atmosphere tense. The final competition is the most popular PY game among couples. The host just announced the game content and took out a box of PY cakes. The rules of the game are very simple. 2 people, each biting one end of the cake, ate towards the middle at the same time. When the wheel breaks, the game is over. The judging criteria is to see who has the shorter cake left. I've seen videos like this online. A man and a woman bite PY cake facing each other. Even accidentally touching lips. This game is so shady. Lutu, isn't this a bit too much? It's the last round, I can't give up. She was completely bloody. But at this moment, the bleachers rang out in surprise.